Nothing like voting, and I vote for sure. These are the kind of themes that the Election Commission of India is going into election 2023 in Meghalaya, which is later to happen on February 27. Today is National Voters Day, and I am joined by none other than Chief Electoral Officer of Meghalaya, Mr. F.R. Kharkungwar. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for talking to us today, sir. Sir, today is National Voters Day. First of all, happy National Voters Day, and happy National Voters Day to our viewers as well. Sir, right out of the bat, this program was a huge success that we just witnessed, and just tell us about this program, sir.
Yeah, so at the very outset, we are joining the rest of the country in celebrating and observing the National Voters Day, and this is the single largest, gathering in respect of democracy in a sense, because India is the largest democracy. So today, all across all the states of India, including our state, in all our 60 assembly constituencies across our 3,482 polling stations, we are having this program. And the theme is I vote for sure. There's nothing like voting. And this program today assumes greater significance because Meghalaya is a poll-going state. And as you all know, on 27th of February is a date in which we will be having the date of voting. So we try to engage a variety of stakeholders and not make it into a totally government program, but make it into a program that addresses and also engages, educates and also empowers all members of the society. So we had people from the Shnongs, we had the Rangba Shnongs, we had the youths, we had the creative artists, we had all the stakeholders who are involved in the democratic process, and also we use creative messaging to showcase electoral messages like the run for sure, as you saw in the morning. Then you have this vintage car rally which addressed various electoral messages. Then you had various performances and also the use of technology, and also we had the FM stations also being closely involved. So we used basically multiple approaches to try and convey to all the sections of the society that each and every vote is important, that there should be no voter who should be left behind, and that's why we have the Super 6 category. The Super 6 category, as just mentioned, includes women, people with disability, youth, then the electoral literacy clubs, then aspects like ethical voting and EVM and VVPAT. So these are the Super 6 categories. So like one young boy who won the National Voters Contest from Meghalaya, he said that you have one vote, you have one life, live it. You have one vote, cast it. So this is with this spirit that we celebrated this National Voters Day, because the voter is at the very heartbeat of democracy.
Sir, we have also seen that the voter turnout in Meghalaya in some of the polling station has been low. So at length you have talked about this, that the Election Commission is trying its best to address this so that there'll be more voter turnout. So if you can just briefly tell us what is the Election Commission doing, sir?
As you must have seen today, there was felicitation of some Shnongs and some Sengsamlas. So this time, even in the enrollment process, all those low enrollment localities, we have made targeted approach, and in that, two of the Shnongs which had low enrollment last time, they have today won awards. Similarly, we have this thing called Mission 300, which will be addressing all the low turnout polling stations and low turnout ACs, and this will again translate into. We hope that by the way, the voting percentage in Meghalaya is not bad compared to the average. Compared to the national average, we are 86% plus, almost touching 87%. So it's quite healthy, it's quite robust, and we feel that now our challenge is to ensure that we target 90% plus. But as it is also, it is not that bad. In terms, it's not bad means it's quite robust. 86 to 87%. I think it's a fairly healthy turnout. But of course, the challenge is to ensure that we're able to to make it 90% plus also.
Sir, if you can also just briefly tell us, a majority of votes comes from which sector? So which is it, from the urban or the rural areas, sir?
We have healthy turnout in the villages. Urban apathy is there, like across the country, not only in Meghalaya, but urban apathy is always a challenge. So we are trying to bridge that urban apathy, and all measures like the one that is being held today will be taken to make efforts towards bridging the gap in terms of enrollment.
Sir, a large number of youth will be voting this time around. Yeah. So what has the Election Commission done to ensure that more turnout of youths will be there this time around, sir?
So as you know, 81,443 young people 18-19 have enrolled, which is about 4% of the total electorate. And this time we have used music to a great extent and social media. So we'll be using social media in a substantial manner, because we know that the youth live on social media. So we'll be targeting and we'll be speaking to them in the language which appeals to them the most.
If you can briefly sum up, what is unique about the elections 2023, sir? If you can briefly sum up.
Well, elections 2023 in respect of Meghalaya is unique because we have more parties taking part this time. I mean, earlier on it was the fixed 5 or 6 parties that we knew. Some national parties, some hill state parties. But this time we have some other players, some new players. Then also the impact of social media will be much more. So these are some of the new features that are there in this election, which was not there before.
So keeping in line with the objective of the Election Commission of India, no voter left behind. So the Election Commission of India, like you mentioned earlier in the press conference, will be going to the remotest part. If you can just tell us about those 2 villages which will be connected through a riverine, sir.
So we have a couple of interesting polling stations. 2 polling stations which are very unique are Kamsing, which is in Amlarem, and it has about 36 voters, and the polling party will have to use boats to reach this particular settlement. It's a kind of an island also. It's not an island, but it's a riverine polling station. So it's called Kamsing. It's in Amlarem under West Jaintia Hills district. And the other polling station is Kalatek, which is in Shela under Saura Civil Subdivision. So these are the 2 riverine polling stations. Then you have a number of polling stations in West Garo Hills. I mean in the Garo Hills region, where they have to use makeshift bridges to cross. And of course, the famous Nongriat is there, where they have to they have to cross the double-decker living root bridges. So these are some of the unique polling stations that are there. And in some of the polling stations, like in Maufu, I think, of course, they have to trek down. But I remember in the last elections when there was a polling officer who was not well, he had to come up with a ropeway.
Okay, my second last question to you, sir. What are your expectations for the upcoming elections, which is slated to happen in February 27, sir?
Well, we always hope for the best. We hope that the people come out in large numbers, that the voting is peaceful and it's free and fair and it's festive, and that there is a lot of participation, the turnout is high, and that once again, Meghalaya will be able to, participate, wholeheartedly, and to ensure that no voter is left behind.
So my final question to you, sir. We see over the past few days, we have seen that the district machineries, are in full swing. They have caught a huge amount of cash from all around the state, sir. And so this can we expect that the Election Commission is fully geared to ensure that there's free and fair election in this upcoming election, sir? That
is the effort. We are making all-out efforts. Even the district machinery is working very hard to ensure that the MCC is enforced in both letter and spirit. That is why the number of seizures are on the rise, and we've seen 2 large seizures last week and this week. And till the end of the Model Code of Conduct, more such efforts will be taking place.
Thank you so much for talking to us, sir. So that was the Chief Electoral Officer, Mr. F.R. Kharkar, who spoke to us exclusively about the upcoming elections, which is slated to happen in February 27. So he is hoping that the upcoming elections will be free and fair. So this is Roger K. Sama signing off. Thank you.